everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hi, I'm Sage, and if you're not new, well, thank you so much for joining me again today. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is going to be a very serious one today. We're going to be talking a little bit about mental health and how mental health isn't something that we should just look over or we should just not blatantly talk about. Mental health is a very serious disease. Anxiety and depression, insomnia, things like that are there and people feel them. We don't need people to tell us, oh, just sleep it off. You don't tell an insomniac just go to sleep. You don't tell a person who has anxiety just to calm down, or you don't tell a person who has depression to get over it. We don't need to hear things like that. And when I say we, I mean we as people who can feel susceptible to feeling depression or feeling, I don't know what to do, or my brain is on 10. We don't need to hear people to tell us that. Sometimes we just need somebody to talk to. And if anybody needs anybody to talk to, I know that I don't know you personally, and I know you don't know me personally. I know that I am not a licensed psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a counselor. Sometimes we just need people to talk to, and we need people, to just listen. We don't need anybody to tell us what we need to do. Sometimes what you need to do is just listen. And, people who, feel like suicide is the only way out, that is a huge cry for help. We shouldn't have to wait until somebody actually passes away to realize that, wow, mental health is something serious. We should already have things set in stone to prevent things like that. And sometimes we're not always gonna, get them all. Sometimes we're not gonna always reach everyone, but the couple that we do reach, we just have a couple more people, to help others, and this is a very serious topic, and people feel like, oh, I'll just, focus on something else and maybe I'll just come back to it later. Depression and anxiety and insomnia, mental health does not work like that. Mental health is something that we need to bring to everybody's attention, to the school board's attention, to universities' attention, to the companies that we work for, to families. We need to have more discussions about feelings. And I know some people don't like to talk about feelings, but we need to have those types of talks. And, to me personally, I feel like talking and writing are like the best of the best to feel like you have something to let go. Sometimes we don't need people, to tell us that, oh, it's going to be okay, because sometimes in our minds, not everything is going to be okay. And we need to have, more sit downs. We need to have more national sit downs when it comes to things like this. We need to have more people understanding that mental health it's just something that's just not to be played around with. Recently in the K-pop community, we just lost a beautiful soul due to a mental health illness. And I know some, fans tend to forget that idols are people too. And we put idols at such a high pedestal, and idols feel like I have to meet every, standard to make everyone happy, to where they forget about themselves. And then they, ultimately feel like I just give up. And that is what happened. At least in my opinion, that's what I feel like what happened. And You know, idols don't make songs about depression and anxiety for nothing. They don't make these songs just to get more revenue off of it. They don't make these songs to get more famous. No, they make them because it's an actual cry for help. Sometimes these songs can reach people to reach people on a mental level, and sometimes we just, sometimes those things like that just need to happen. And I don't want people to feel like, I'm trying to make this video, because I want to go viral or trend or anything like that. Because if that's the case, I didn't care about the situation in the beginning. And, we have people like for example, my favorite YouTuber, Kendall. She's like, she's more of a understanding person than any of us, because she understands how things like this can go about, and people feel like we're making this into more of a controversial topic than what it needs to be. And if that's the case, then like I said, nobody cared about this situation in the beginning. And it's not always about us trying to turn this into some type of revenue. This is about an actual feeling that we have, and mental health needs to be brought to the forefront. And we need to let government officials know, we need to let everybody know that mental health is something that this isn't a game. Our feelings aren't games. Depression isn't something that you can just play and just get over it. Depression is not just a phase. Anxiety is not just a phase. Insomnia is not just a phase. Sometimes people feel like, I don't know what to do. And I know I feel like that sometimes, but I try to, use what works for me and see if that works for other people, because, writing is my outlet. And sometimes, speaking can be other people's outlet, because speaking really isn't my outlet. It's becoming more of something that kind of helps me, but writing is something I can kind of, connect to, and it might connect to somebody else. And, mental health it's a very serious topic, and we need to bring this to the forefront, and we need to let people know that mental health, has no face. Depression has no gender. Depression has no color, has no nationality, no ethnicity, none of that. And I know I sound very repetitive, but mental health is not a game. Depression and anxiety and insomnia and paranoia, those things are not just things we go through. They're not just phases. People talk about the emo phase. That could very well be an actual phase where a person feels like they don't belong. And parents, we need to we need to have these type of open discussions with our kids. And of course I'm not a parent, but we need to have these type of discussions with our children, because our babies feel like that they don't belong. And we need to let our children know that mommy and daddy, grandma and grandpa, all of that, we love you. And we need to have people to understand that this is a very serious topic. And I'm not trying to sit here and glorify and try to make revenue off of something that should have been already, a huge deal or a huge issue. We shouldn't have to wait until a tragedy happens for us to realize that, maybe this is something serious. But sometimes, I don't know, maybe that's what we need as a nation. We need to have tragedy to happen for us to realize that this is something serious. And this isn't something we should just play around with. Feelings and emotions are not just things that you play around with. Feelings and emotions are something that have more of a deeper meaning to them. There's a reason why I feel sad all the time. There's a reason why my brain goes a million miles per second. There's a reason why I'm sad every day. There's a reason why. And, telling us that we'll get over it is not going to help. Praying, that helps a lot. But we need to also, pray and do more, you know, not just pray and just sit, you know. Yes, prayer works, but not all the time. Prayer is the only thing that we need to do. Sometimes we just need to get up and go out and seek help. And, you know, and all in all, mental health is not just something that we are just going through. Depression is not just something that I just feel today and be done with tomorrow. No, depression can be a lifelong, threatening, you know, disease, and it needs to be, you know, brought to the forefront. You know, mental health needs to be brought to everybody's attention, and things like, you know, a death shouldn't be, you know, something that, you know, we have to be, you know, we have to, you know, what am I trying to say? That we have to see in order for us to realize that this is something very serious. So I just wanted to put my thoughts out there. If anybody, you know, is feeling like they don't have anybody to talk to, you know, you can always reach me on my Twitter and my Snapchat, and I'm always there. And, you know, if you need anything from me, if you need a friend to talk to, you know, I'm here for you. You know, it's a lot of us out here who really do care. And I know I care, because I know I would want somebody to care about me, and I would want somebody to listen to me if I'm going through my issues. So hopefully this video can kind of help people, you know, realize that, you know, this is something that we need to really, really talk about everywhere, because, you know, mental health is not just a states thing. It happens everywhere. So if you like this video, don't forget to like this video. You can comment, subscribe if you like, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.